Hi everyone, my name is Megan Fraser, and this is my technical sound design reel for Unreal Engine 4 and WWISE. It takes place in my homemade world, which I call PopWorld, as all the sounds are sourced from just mouth noises that I've recorded. Here you can see that I've integrated WWISE into Unreal, and I currently have two events. One is for when the cubes impact a surface to send a spatialized sound based on the material that was impacted. And the second is just a grab sound to play when I'm grabbing a cube. For the grab sound, I just edited the main blueprint to call the randomized sound container in WWISE, as you can see here, and obviously tied it into my WWISE event cube grab. Here's what it sounds like. For the cube to generate a sound based on a switch in WWISE was a little bit more complicated. Here is the blueprint. I generated two components, one for the AK sound library and the second for the cube itself. We start with an on-hit component event, which goes out and gets the linear velocity and then references the cube component here. Now we go through a really short logic loop where if the vector length is greater than 150 centimeters, the function will continue. If it is not true, this empty false node will stop everything from moving forward. So the idea here is that the cube is settling down at the very end of being thrown, and it's technically going to call the event to play 1,000 times for each individual minute movement. I didn't want to do that, so I set the vector fairly high, so it really needs to bounce to actually throw an event. It's not perfect, but it works okay. I'm going to backtrack a little here and go back into the break hit result. This is how the engine determines what you have hit, or what the cube is hit. So it gets a value for the physical surface, and then it prints the name to the switch. If the name absolutely matches identically, WWISE can then post an event based on the physical material type. As you can see here, my switch group is identically named material type, and the materials in that switch group are identical to the physical materials in my project settings here. Finally, we get to the end where I learned that you can't just post event, as most online tutorials will have you do. When you're working with switches, at least in the way that I am, utilizing the post event function will only return the first randomized sound set, in this case, dirt. You need to use a post AK event, AK being the component you created way back at the beginning. Obviously, you need to reference the specific event to use, which in this case is cube impact. Both must reference identical AK components to work. Finally, I used a print string just to make sure that I understood exactly what physical surfaces were being returned and that they were working properly as intended. Also, I did actually get basic spatialization up and running. For example, if you listen very carefully, and I'll demonstrate this, if I throw a cube outside of my field of vision, you can hear it pan in the direction of the cube's impact. What I didn't get working and will update next is the attenuation. So currently when I add attenuation curves, it completely destroys the whole chain and you won't hear anything. But when it's up and working, when I throw far away, it's going to sound a lot softer. The highs will be a lot more clear and the lows are going to drop out a lot more. So yeah, here's what it sounds like. So that is my technical sound design reel for WWISE to Unreal. Thank you so much for watching.